This is the late but great Raven the Betta, master of the subaquatic stink eye, scourge of the 5-gallon tank, misanthropist, and beloved family pet. He was our first pet, and actually, he was a surprise pet. We didn't have any at that point, and we weren't really planning on getting any more, but my daughter, who was in 5th grade at the time, had a field trip to a hydroponics farm one day. And at the hydroponics farm, they had bettas in their setup, and they had a raffle where they were sending kids home with bettas in a jar with a hydroponic plant. And, of course, my kid was one of the lucky few who got a fish in a jar. So I went to go collect her from school that day, and she bounced up to me with this fish in a jar. And, of course, she was asking me, begging me if she could keep it. And, of course, you know kids, at that point, if they have the fish in hand, they're already completely emotionally invested, and there's really no way to say no without a lot of tears and a lot of resentment. So, in the interest of not causing a huge scene in public, I said, yes, you can keep the fish, and we brought him home. And as soon as we got him settled at home, I knew something was off immediately. He wasn't moving around very much, he didn't seem very happy, his fins were down, he was rejecting food, and I suspected that the water in his little jar there just was way too cold for him. Now, I'm guessing the hydroponics farm people had intended us to bring him home and give him a better environment to live in. My kids said that this would be completely fine for him for the rest of his natural life, but obviously that did not seem to be the case. So I did a little Googling and learned that no, in fact, that was not a good place for him to be, and bettas need a lot more space and a heater and just a better environment than that mason jar was going to be. So we headed to the pet store and we got a much bigger tank with a heater and a filter and some accessories, including a betta leaf and some other stuff that we thought would be good for him. And once we got him installed in his new home, he was much happier. He still refused to eat the food we had got him before, so we got him something else we thought might be tastier, and he started eating that, and he was swimming around, and he was happier, and his fins were up, and everything seemed pretty good. And he was generally spoiled and doted upon by my kids, although he didn't seem to enjoy any of their efforts. His betta leaf, which I said before that we got him, he completely ignored. I'm not really sure what the point of those things are to begin with, but he just was not interested in it. He also showed no interest in the couple of Legos that my kid dropped in, because she heard that bettas like to boop him around and play with them, but no, he didn't like to play with them either. He did, however, really enjoy his rock. We had this tall, hollowed-out fake rock that had a bunch of holes in it, and he would park himself in one of the holes with just his little snout and eyes sticking out, and he'd just kind of keep watch on the world. And when he wasn't chilling in his rock, he was out in front of the glass, radiating contempt. If you walked by the tank, he was glaring. If you approached the tank directly to say hi, he was immediately scowling and flaring at you. And granted, I know that flaring with bettas isn't always aggression. I know sometimes they just see somebody they recognize and they start flaring, or sometimes they're just trying to exercise their gills and fins. But man, this little guy just got confrontational with people every single time he saw them. And my daughter loved it. She was like, "Oh, look, he's saying hi to me. He loves me." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll go with that." To me, it felt more like unbridled hatred. Of course, I wasn't going to say anything like that to my kid, so she just thought that he loved her as much as she loved him. And despite his unconcealed disdain for us, we still loved him and cared for him and tried our best to give him a good life. He was with us for maybe a year, maybe a little bit longer, and then one day he started showing signs of getting sick. One day he started eating less, and he wasn't quite as active, and a few days later we woke up to discover that he had passed away during the night. We were all really sad to see him go. Even though he showed mostly hostility towards us, we still loved him. He was still our pet, our first one at that, and he was special. He had a lovely funeral arranged by my kids, and we laid him to rest between 2 rose bushes in the front garden. This portrait is in memory of him. I painted him how I remembered him, beautiful but angry, an enigma of a creature that we all cherished just the same. My name is Juliana Wynn, and this is Can't Talk Must Paint. Thank you for watching.